When hinges creak in doorless chambers and strange adversing sounds echo through the halls, whenever candlelights flicker, when the air is deathly still, that is the time those some peasants practicing their ghoulish delight. When cryptos creak and tombstones quake, spoons come out for a swinging wake. Happy haunts materialize and begin to vocalize. Grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize. Close your eyes and don't try to hide. Shrouded in a dark disguise. Grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize. When cryptos creak and tombstones quake, spoons come out for a swinging wake. Happy haunts materialize and begin to vocalize. Grim grinning ghosts come out to socialize.
Woo! What up?
What's up, everybody? What's going on, Wet Movie?
I gotta throw some. Okay, I was gonna chat it. But I'm just gonna say I was gonna throw some appreciation into the chat. What's up? What movie one? Johnny Horror, friends of the channel, friends of just friends in general, man.
Yeah,
good people. If you're watching the reruns, check out both of their channels. Johnny Horror is he does consignments. He will show you all about the different conventions out there. Wet Movie One just released a really rad video about why he collects. It was a really cool video. I can relate to a lot of the stuff he said in there, and it's always really interesting to hear like what got people started down the path of collecting.
Yeah.
So,
What's
Papa
up,
Goss.
Papa?
I'm trying to find my first page of notes here because today, my friends, is a day we're going to talk about something fantastic, something beautiful, something elegant and special.
I know
All
how
right,
excited Josh is for this.
So excited. So excited. So as you all know, you voted and you came up with the plan for us to discuss Child's Play 3. And somebody said that this is the worst movie of the franchise. And it makes me think that they just stopped at this one instead of going further down the path, because Bride of Chucky, Seed of Chucky, Curse of Chucky, ugh. And Call of Chucky, what the fuck?
Now, I thought Seed was the worst.
Seed's pretty bad.
I thought, Curse kind of. How many years was that in between? It was a good amount of years between those of Seed and Curse, and I thought it kind of rejuvenated the franchise a little bit. I was like, oh, this is different. It's not as, as bad as Seed, and then Cult wasn't bad, so.
Agreed. And What Movie One, I agree. I think you definitely inspired me to want to make a video about what got me into it. So it's something that's on my radar that I just may do, with giving you full props on that idea.
Well, I just wanted to be famous, so.
Right? We spent all our money to be famous.
Yeah.
So, Chuck, when was the first time you saw Child's Play 3?
Oh, I cannot remember. I couldn't tell you. I know a lot of people have the whole, what was the first horror movie that you can remember watching? And the first one I do remember watching was actual Child's Play. I was 5 years old.
Shit.
My aunt was watching us, and I probably told the story before somewhere down the line, but she was babysitting us. She rented the movie. We watched it. I had a My Buddy doll.
Mm-hmm.
And she saw that I didn't much enjoy the movie because I was scared. I was a child. So she decided in her cold heart that she was going to torment me as much as she could with the doll. I would like when I got in bed that night, I knew threw it in the closet, didn't want it anywhere near me. Scary movie. She would sneak in when I fell asleep, take it out of the closet, and put it back in bed with me. Stuff like that. So that really it gave me nightmares for about a year, but I guess that's where I started my road of horror. Is at about 5, thanks to her. But I can't remember when I saw Child's Play 3. I know it was in the 90s.
It's funny because I watched it again last night, the Blu-ray, and I was like, man, I feel like I must have made up a lot of scenes for this. Like, I feel like there's something missing. And then today, when you and I were talking, I looked up the deleted scenes on YouTube, and I watched there were so many made for TV, like the TV showing scenes, that I remember watching it on USA and seeing those additional scenes in the movie that were cut out for the DVD release, which was weird. I don't remember the first time I saw it, but I remember loving it. I remember being like, man, this is a sequel that really does it right. Like, it really just building off of the original story instead of retrying to like bring in new characters and trying to rebuild the horror of it. Like, just the fact that it was a continuation, I loved that.
Well, what I think is funny is that you love it so much, but this is Mancini's least favorite.
I didn't read that. Tell me more about that.
Yeah. He openly said the main reason, and we touched on this when we spoke of like Alex Vincent not being Andy was that his age. They did this 9 months. Like, that's how long it took. 9 months after Child's Play 2 came out, this came out.
And it's funny because like it's 8 years from the 8 years in movie time from the first one, and then the Bride of Chucky is like 1 month later, but it took like 7 years or so, something like that, for it to get filmed. Okay, continue.
That's how I try. That's how I try to explain to Chess. I was like, okay, so this movie was made 9 months after the second one, but supposed to take place 8 years after, and then the following film, Bride of Chucky, was made 7 years after, but it's only supposed to take place a month after the third film. I'm like, so it was really messed up. But they definitely they wanted to age Andy up, so they could not hire Alex Vincent because he was, I think, 9 or 10 still at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So he definitely wasn't going to be able to pull off a 17-year-old. So entering the role of Andy Barclay was Justin Whalen, and I best know him from the horrible early 2000s Dungeons and Dragons movie.
So I never saw that. I need him on a Funko. Somebody needs to make it happen. Like, the dude's a teacher now.
He doesn't do conventions. Like, I haven't seen him around doing conventions, at least. I was like, he'd be cool.
Danny Lloyd went the way of the teacher too, and he still pops up for conventions. So let's get this kid, somebody, CSR Collectibles, please get this dude to sign a Funko Pop for me.
Yeah.
Shit.
Just be like, hey man, we'll come by your house.
Yes. There's Child's Play 3 Funkos. He needs to be slapping his signature on that shit.
But Mancini openly said that this was his least favorite because he felt rushed.
That's funny.
Like, he didn't have time to like put ideas together, and they didn't give him enough. It also was quoted that Brad said this was kind of one of his least favorites too.
And that's interesting too, because he has some of the best lines in this movie. Like, they always give Chucky the best dialogue, but some of the just off the wall shit that he says, like that "don't fuck with the Chuck," like that kind of shit. Chucky's gonna be a bro. Like, he just says some of the dumbest, awesome.
We see a little bit of racism.
A little bit,
Chucky.
Okay.
It was a good ththing. Alex decided to, Andy decided to kick him before he went any further, because he was like, "Yeah, Chucky's gonna be a bro," and he kicks him. I'm like, it was a good thing he stopped him.
It's funny because like I remember always wondering, like, why did Alex Vincent send that out? Why wasn't he in that? Like, did they have to beg him to get back in the franchise? And then, like you said, it just came down to simply he was too young. Like, he was still a child. It's also weird to me how easy it was for Chucky, who had been, like, Charles Lee Ray has been in that doll for how long? However many years. technology's had to advance from what he was used to when he was in human form. But he gets into that dude's office and he's like, "Oh, a computer! I'm gonna track down little Andy and see where he is."
I made that comment.
Come on.
I said, Johnny Horror, this is my what's in the box.
What's in the box?
Nothing
Best
good
line.
ever.
Best line in horror ever.
But the first two movies were supposed to take place at their time period. So 88 and 90, I think, was those two or something like that. Or yeah. And this one was supposed to take place in 98. I don't remember computers being readily available in the somewhat late 80s. I know they were around, but for the Lakeshore Strangler to be like, "Yes, I'm computer savvy," and automatically know how to be like, "Boop boop boop." He's like, "Enhance." Like, well, like, because there is no way that.
Wait, hold on. What is that from?
It's Super Troopers.
Okay.
Because he's like, "Can you make any better?" He's like,
enhance. Okay. Perfect. God.
Well, but there's no way that he's like, okay, not only am I going to be able to use a computer well, I'm going to be able to just access files to a underaged civilian that's in the foster care system. That's not how that works. I'm sorry to say that.
No. That piece. I mean, okay, let's be real here. Horror movies aren't gonna be very factual. They're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna take creative liberties. But that was one where I was like, "Come on." So I don't know. That's funny.
Yeah, we had what? I looked at some of these people up on the IMDb.
Yeah, right. You busted out your 1989 computer and you looked them up in the same user interface that Chucky found Andy. Tell us more.
And whenever I finished, I leaned on the couch and was playing my my Atari Lynx handheld system, because that's what Tyler was playing.
Oh yeah, I wondered what that was. I'm glad you told me that.
Yeah, it's an Atari Lynx, and they modified the front so when you looked at it, it didn't say Atari on it.
Okay, I was thinking like Game Gear.
Branding. Yeah, that's what I thought too. But apparently, Game Gear came a little bit further down the line.
Okay, that makes sense.
But Jeremy Silvers, who plays Tyler, I've seen him when I looked him up, the first couple pictures was like him at conventions. He did maybe like 2 movies after this, and that's all that is really on his IMDb.
See, I didn't. I looked up his too, and I didn't see much. I was surprised because if you watch my channel, you know I have a fairly decent amount of Child's Play Funko Pops. But these ones, I need them.
Yeah, and because you need Justin, you need Jeremy, you're gonna need Perry Reeves, who plays De Silva.
Yeah,
which she is in the TV version of one of your favorite movies, the what is it, American Satan?
Is she?
Yeah, the TV TV stuff they did. You told me to watch.
Yeah,
she's the mom of that kid.
Really?
Yeah, that's Perry Reeves. Yeah.
Huh.
That's one of the last things she did was that TV show.
Johnny, in the chat, if you could tell me more. Did you find the Catherine Hicks clip? Tell me more about that, because I couldn't. I didn't try to research too deep, but I couldn't find it.
We couldn't find it anywhere. We looked up.
And I'll also give a little shout out. I don't know if he wants me to get the shout out. I'm going to Johnny Horror. If you look up Concrypt on Facebook, it's a Facebook group. He's going to be Mad Monster, and Fiona Dourif and Brad Dourif just got added. So I'm sure he would absolutely love to. Oh, Monster Mania. Thank you. Yeah. I'm sure he'd absolutely love to get more bogged down with those items. But he's going to be seeing them. He's going to be seeing Catherine Hicks, Alice Vincent, and Christina Leese over the next few months.
Well, Johnny, I think what they have to do in IMDb is that the reason they credited or uncredited Alex and Catherine is because they used that photo from whenever they were like his photo.
Oh
he brought with
yeah,
him.
yeah.
If they use an image that is from a previous thing, I think they have to put it somewhere in there. Like, they have to pay them for the rights of their image. So I think that's probably what it is when he brought that photo from home.
And
Which
it's
is
so
weird that he had a full-size color photo, but in 2 he had a tiny black and white photo.
Hey man, he upgraded, all right.
Yeah.
It's funny because there was one clip I found on YouTube, and it was of like Catherine Hicks. I don't know where the image or like where the video came from, but she was laying on her side sleeping, and then Chucky just like creeps up over her. But it was fan made. It wasn't anything special.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it's interesting to me when Mancini went into this one, he had wanted to start building out that multiple Chucky's universe. He wanted more than one Chucky doll. And he had the perfect opportunity to do it in this one, but I'm guessing that goes back to what you were saying about it being a rushed script. Because when
And
Chucky
money.
comes to life, and money, when Chucky comes to life, like when they lift up the melted piece of him and the blood drips down into the vat of plastic that's whatever, melting or shit, that doesn't go into one doll. Like that could have made multiple dolls. So that would have been like the seed planted to create the multiple Chuckies that you end up seeing later on. And what was it, Cult, that had the multiples? And then the Chucky show.
Yeah, that's because Chesley asked the same thing. She was like, "Well, the blood leaked in the whole vat. Wouldn't there be like multiple ones?" I'm like, the way I explained it, and I guess I was like, "Listen, stop it." And I was like, "Listen, the way he, produced the Chucky to the toy company owner is that this is the first one off the line." So I'm thinking like they haven't made any more until they get approval to make more, because that's what that meeting was about at the very beginning was, let's put these back into production. It has enough time passed that we're going to make money off of because these are just sitting on the shelf. We got a whole factory of Chuckies that are just doing nothing. So when he presented the Chucky to him, he was saying this is the first one off the line. So I said basically what in my head canon was that they only made the one to be like, this is what the new 90s Chucky is going to look like.
Right.
And, to push it, to be like, okay, approve it type of situation.
Yeah.
There could be more down the road whenever they start making more, but right now, this is it.
No, that makes perfect sense. Did you catch in the credits, the coolest name in horror was listed as a stunt coordinator?
No.
Stunt coordinator. Dude, this dude's name, it pops out all the time. Like whenever I see him, like stunt coordinator for Child's Play 3, Dick Warlock.
Well, cool. Well, that's cool.
I thought that was really cool.
Listen, you can get Dick Warlock to sign a Chucky.
Just get Dick on everything. I want Dick on everything.
I just want you walking around, Dick. Just put it on everything.
Yeah. Come on in, Dick. I want you to. Dick Warlock. Like, his dad was just like, got you good, you fucker. Yeah. The best name in horror. Well, so, yeah, Dick Warlock did the stunts. They brought back the original puppeteer, I believe, to do Chucky. You had Eden Gross doing the voice again, which I don't know if you really had to do much new for the regular Chucky voice.
Yeah, they could just reuse that, recycle, like how they want to do AI for everything now. They can just recycle what they already had.
Yeah.
And Johnny says, he's enjoying that T-shirt.
Thank you.
Was it From Beyond or whatever?
Yes. Yeah, they had like a mystery sale. It was like 3 shirts for stupid cheap. And it was this, Street Fighter, and Twin Peaks.
Well, it looks good on you.
Thank you. I appreciate both of you. Did you catch the look that De Silva gave him after she was done with the push-ups when she gets up and looks at him and just like...
Yeah.
It's like the weirdest, like...
Yeah, like
grin.
people comment about how she stood back up. And you're like, what the hell kind of stand-up is that? It's really weird. It's a weird stand-up.
It's a weird stand-up. It is.
But in my head, I'm thinking, well, she doesn't want to get her uniform dirty because it is muddy. It's muddy and wet, so she probably doesn't want to get her uniform dirty, and that's how she just stand up. But speaking of Dick Warlock, and just...
Tell me all about Dicks.
Well, this one isn't about Dick.
Oh.
My standout character and actor
I know what
of
you're gonna say.
this film. Who is it?
No, go ahead.
It's Andrew Robinson, Sergeant Butnick or Botnick, the barber.
The barber, yeah.
Yeah,
Was
I mean,
that
he
a
brought
fake
it.
mustache?
No, that's his.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I've seen pictures of him with facial hair, so I mean that looks pretty dead on. But Mancini spoke about how he felt. A lot of people felt that Robinson's acting was a little over the top, but then whenever
It
they put
totally
it
was,
together,
dude.
yeah, when they put it together, they're like, "Oh, this is so good." Like they wish some of the other ones kind of would have pushed it up there. But I'd love to see him at a convention. He's like 80-some years old, but he's Child's Play 3. You got him in Hellraiser as the
See, I
dad.
didn't realize it was him from Hellraiser until you told me.
But they talk about it's a coincidence that whenever he's walking around the lunchroom and he's pulling their hair, like he's jerking their hair back, because he talks to them about basically the reason he kept the hair so short is so a enemy combatant couldn't pull your hair back and slit your throat. But that's how he ended up going.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny to me because when he was going around during that scene and pulling everybody's hair back, Whitehurst didn't have the longest of the hair. Like he was like today, and there was like 3 other people that he'd already grabbed and was like Tuesday, Wednesday.
Well, he cut Andy's hair just like a few days before, and it was still longer than
Wednesday.
I have Johnny. I have the Good Guys doll from like the $100 Good Guys doll from Spirit Halloween. That's in the box. It's out in the building. I don't have it in here, but now Big John bought the big Trick or Treat one, Trick or Treat Studios one. That's like $600. He bought that.
I don't have one, but you have the like silver. I can't think what to call it. Almost robotic hell with the teeth. That one's a really cool piece. I've almost bought that a few times.
Yeah, it was. I think I pre-ordered it as soon as they announced. Trick or Treat Studios announced it. I can't really get to it. It's behind me and under, but I do have some Good Guy doll battery energy drink.
I have mine up there too. Yeah, trying to
some of my stuff, but
the Child's Play franchise has so many good collectibles. Like I'm looking up here now. There's a NECA, some kind of talking keychain I've never even opened, so I don't know what it does. The energy drink, another NECA. All like the Trollify. It's like almost Funko Pop looking, but they're trolls of Chucky and Tiffany. Like there's so many good toys based on it. And Child's Play 3 got its own Funko Pop of him with his face half ripped off from the
that's the Walmart exclusive.
Yeah.
Pizza Face is what they call that one.
The what?
Pizza Face.
Pizza Face? I get it.
Yeah, that's what they refer to it as. Like John, that's what his mission was at Mad Monster this year, is to find somebody that had the Pizza Face head for the big $600 doll.
Oh, okay.
And
he
order?
Got one. Yeah. Oh, he did find one?
Yeah.
Was it something that they made just for that purpose, or was it like a privately made?
No, it was for like when Trick or Treat Studios announced, hey, we're gonna make the Chucky doll, they started saying like, well, we're gonna have different hands. We're gonna have hands you can take. They're like magnetically at the wrist. You can just pop them on and off, and they even put magnets in the palm so you can take the special knives they make, like the dagger he uses in 2, the voodoo knife in 1, and you can just basically magnetically stick it to their hands. And so they started doing different heads too. And the Pizza Face was one of them they did.
And Johnny, I want to come back to your question here. I'm going to make sure we show that and talk about that. First, I want to say, though, I think that it speaks volumes to Andy's character that he didn't just let Chucky take Tyler, because Tyler was annoying as fuck. Like there had to have been an internal struggle of like, do we really need this kind of kid living? Like if Charles Lee Ray ends up in his body, it'll be easier to kill him. Like we don't need Tyler. He's kind of annoying.
Yeah, and people were like, should he be acting like this and stuff like that? He's 8.
Oh yeah, that was really like that macho, like, why are you playing with a doll? In times
Yeah,
where like my buddy
but
dolls
he
were
is a
pretty
child.
prominent. Yeah, he's an 8-year-old child. Because one of the deleted scenes, and one of the ones that was on USA when they played it on TV, was the bus transport to get to Kent. He like Andy's sitting like all sulking because nobody loves him. He doesn't have a family, loser. And Tyler's like, hey, don't cry, buddy. Let's be friends. Right? And gives him that pocket knife. And that's like, it's amazing they took that scene out because later on he has a pocket knife and you're just like, okay, Andy has a pocket knife. Cool.
He has a pocket knife all the time. Like that
Right.
pocket knife gets more screen time than he does almost.
But it's
But,
like they
you know,
never.
You think he just brings it with him.
That part
But it
just
turns
like
out
was weird
Tyler
to me.
gave it to him on the bus, yeah.
So Johnny
You
had
go ahead.
asked,
Are you ready?
in what order would you put the first 3 Child's Play films, best to worst? I think they did an amazing job with how they rolled them out. I really think that 1, 2, 3 is pretty fucking close to being in the order I would put them in. But at the same time, I would put 3 above 2. I think my personal order would be 1, 3, 2. I wish you would have zoomed in on yourself when you did that. That was the perfect moment for your zoom.
It's on the remote over there somewhere. I don't even remember where I put it. But I would have to agree. 2 and 3 is pretty interchangeable. You really need 1 to kind of cement everything to get it started, and then 2 and 3 is kind of interchangeable. But they did do a good job of progressing through. So far, Chesley, I've shown her 1, 2, and 3. I want to show her the rest of them because she has watched the show. She's completely caught up on the show. She said that so far there's not been a bad one. I'm like, the way she said it, I'm like, are you sure? Are you joking? She's like, no. She's like, so far, they've been like pretty consistent. Like they're not horrible movies. They're like the Hellraiser. Like you watch the first 3 Hellraisers, you're like, oh, that's pretty good. And then you get to like 7 and 8, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why am I still watching this?
I don't. Emily and I need to watch them too. Watch the Child's Play movies. I never really thought about the fact she hadn't seen them, and I think Child's Play is my favorite franchise, like by far. I love.
You bought the Trolls.
Play.
I know it is.
Yeah, right. I love Child's Play, and I haven't given the newer movies much of a chance as I have the first 3. Bride, I like Bride of Chucky, but I like Jennifer Tilly. I think she's entertaining. She's fun.
Yeah,
she's
I know
great in Liar
like
Liar. Like, mine's out of the gutter. I think she's a fun actress. But then when it got to Seed, I think I've only seen Seed once. And same with the other 2, with Cult and Curse. I think I've only seen those once each because it was just like, Like, I don't even honestly remember how her character ends up getting intertwined into everything. Nika. And the show, it blows my mind that the same writer from the first one is still continuing to write for him. That's impressive as is. But the show has just gotten so bonkers. Like, I can't really say that I like the show because I mean, I'll watch it, but I'm just like, now they're talking about taking him to space, and I'm like, don't fucking do that. Don't fuck with the Chuck.
Yeah, hopefully it's just a joke. But yes, Johnny Horror. Matter of fact, you're almost right. It would go Feast 3, then Feast 2, then Child's Play. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
But,
yeah. You and your damn Feast movies.
Listen, I just watched the first one. I didn't say the second and third one were any good.
I don't know. I'm looking at my notes here. Like why was it so easy to fight Andy? That was like my biggest gripe of the whole movie. And I think that's really the only complaint I have. Like, I think this is a good movie. Like, even the next logical step is space. I wish you were wrong, but you're not at all. Even just the way that Chucky swaps out the paint bullets. That is one of my favorite concepts in a movie ever. I love that he swapped out the red ones because that would still look like the red paint, right? I for some reason I had it in my mind that he swapped out both. but it was definitely just the Reds. And I thought
Yeah.
that was such a sick way because Chucky didn't really have a lot of kills in this movie. He set other people up to do it for him in this.
Yeah. So we were talking about that whenever he was switching them out. Because number one, Chesley's very it's hard to get her to do the whole suspension of disbelief. I'm like, well, you just have to understand this is just how
That's
it goes.
fair.
But she's
Yeah.
like, how did he end up switching all those guns? The magazines of all those guns. He has tiny doll hands. That doesn't make sense. But I was like, and two, I was like, these aren't paintballs. I've been shot by paintballs. They hurt. They leave marks. These are gunpowder projected paint pellets. They are gonna fucking hurt. I mean, regardless of how you get, they gotta hurt.
Man, for sure.
But yeah, the way they switched all that around, I mean, it's nice. I think there's a total of 7 kills in this one, 8 if you count Chucky himself. So
Can't count.
one more small gripe I have. Are you ready?
Let's hear it.
And this is for you. Okay. They call him the Lakeshore Strangler, correct?
Yeah.
Do you know how many people he has actually strangled?
Oh yeah, it was only
Child's
wasn't
Play
it only
1 to Child's Play 3.
Oh, okay. Now
Successfully.
hold on, sir. He earned that title before he was stuck in a doll's body. Now he has little baby hands. You can't expect him to fill all those guns and also strangle everyone. I would say by now in the Child's Play movies, he probably has like 2 strangulations.
Well, from 1 to I counted because we started, with 1, 2, and 3 this week. I counted. He successfully murdered 2 people by strangulation. It was
with those little hands. That's impressive.
Yeah, the adopted mom, because Chester wasn't sure, and I said it looked like it was a strangulation at the sewing machine. It looks like he choked her out with the cord and stuff like that they had around her neck, and then of course the toy company owner, and he says, it feels good to be, like, back, like doing it the old school way. But in 1, he attempts 2 strangulations and nothing.
And they just slipped through his little fingers.
Yeah. Well, 1 was with the police officer, and then the second one was whenever he was just a headless body, and he reaches out and tries to grab that other cop, and his little hands, he's like, eh. Yeah, I'm just saying, he's not living up to his name, man.
He's not, but it's not his fault, man. Like, that's kind of like, that's just mean. It's not his fault. He has little baby hands. I'm trying to see. Poor Andy's. Oh, yeah. That was a mean comment that I made on that part.
You're scribbling out. But
Oh, dude, my handwriting's so bad. Whenever I try to look back at the notes, I'm like, shit, why do I even bother taking notes?
Well, sometimes I do shorthand, and then I forget that I do shorthand, and I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck I was saying.
You know who else does shorthand? Chucky. It's the final scenes when they're in that haunted house. I thought was really cool. Like, that was a really cool haunted ride, like for like a town fair. But is it there all the time? Because fucking DeSalva's like, come check this out. Here's a romantic view, but you're gonna end this movie still a virgin, Andy. Like,
sorry,
it's like she knew it was there, huh?
Because it seems like they were romantically, involved, and then you no longer see Andy through the other couple movies until the TV show, or the end. Well, until Cult and the end of Curse, and they don't ever talk about De Silva at all. So, I mean, did they just be like right after military school? They were like, or like maybe season 4 of the Chucky series, you find out she's like a high-ranking military officer.
But yeah, because that brings up a good point though. Like, what happened to Andy after military school?
Yeah.
Like, did he just like, well, Chucky's dead. I guess I can really focus my all on military school now.
Yeah,
like,
because I think it was like one of those you're in this until you're 18 because of the foster homes not working out.
What happened to Andy after Child's Play 3?
It looked like he became a recluse out in the woods with a Chucky head.
Where did Andy go after Child's Play 3? Okay, I'm really curious now. What happened to Andy? This is why people end up making fan films. Is these kind of questions like where was he? Let's make a fucking fan film about what Andy Barkley was. Alex isn't doing anything. Actually, I will say something nice here. Isn't Alex managed by Samantha Osborne?
I am not sure.
I'm pretty sure.
I know he's in because during the Q&A with him and Christina, they say that they ask him like, well, are you doing, what are you doing now? Are you living your dream because of, you don't act anymore except for what you're doing in the Chucky series. He's like, yeah. He's like, he manages music and stuff like that, and I think he's like a producer of music and all that. So that's what he does.
He gets credited on being on Ari Lehman's new album with Courtney Gaines too. You're welcome. I knew that. Courtney Gaines, Alex Vincent on a song with Ari Lehman. I'm checking now. Come on, Alex.
While you're checking,
he's repped by Osborne Agency, Osborne Entertainment. My
bad. First movie to use computers to help the Chucky puppet.
What do you mean?
Oh, you're like, I don't care. Shut up.
No. What do you mean? Like to like animate it?
This is like the first time they use computer programming during the puppeteering of Chucky.
Oh, okay.
To sync Brad's voice with the mouth and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
I always decided it was that damn good. I'm really Johnny Horror. After you meet Brad, like I need to know everything. I need to know every fucking detail of how that goes.
I want to know what he smelled like.
I want to know what he smelled like. I want to know I just want to know if he's a nice person. I've heard Fiona is like absolute angel. I've heard she's so nice, but I've never heard anything about how Brad is.
Listen, whatever you got to do, Johnny, you get that photo op with him. You go in, and then whenever you're about to leave, just go. Just a little peck.
Little kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, and then run away and go hee hee hee. I mean, no, I don't even own an that's why I told Chesley. Brad is definitely on my list. I've met Alex and stuff like that. I would love to meet Brad Dourif. I don't even have an autograph from him like you.
His autograph is awful.
Oh yeah, he has and it's small.
Yeah,
like no matter the space that man has, he's like, what do?
It's here.
Well, we hope you do, Johnny. We hope you do. But yeah, he's definitely on my list of people to meet and get an autograph from because I don't even have a consignment autograph or anything from him. And people were quoting him as, I don't know if you can still hear me. I'm just talking to the people now.
It's had to get a whole stack. So Brad's autograph. I don't even know what it is, but he's one of the few that have earned the right to be in the fancy protectors. If you saw Johnny Horror's newest video, he talks about these. You know better than I do. These are pop shields, pop armor. Yeah. He earned the right to be one of those. But it's such a weird autograph. I don't know if he does inscriptions. But we also have Jack Bender. He was the director of Child's Play 3. And then we have Eden Gross, who is the voice of Chucky when it's not Brad talking.
Yeah, I would definitely want, if I ever got a chance to get an Eden Gross, it would be on a Good Guy doll Funko.
Yeah.
Like the Good Guy doll version. Yeah, because that's what it is. But Johnny's going to be meeting 5 of the Child's Play actors in a month. I thought whenever that Catherine, whenever she popped up, I was like, that I haven't really seen her do conventions. That's very cool, and it'd be really cool to be like.
It's funny because she's doing the convention for Seventh Heaven.
Yeah. Well, I would say she's probably better known for some of that stuff, and horror fans are just like,
yeah. I have a Jennifer Tilly pop. I don't want to say too much here. Whatever. I'm sending 2 pops to Johnny for one for Fiona, one for Catherine, and I have it right here actually. How I want those to be written out. We're gonna make it work. So I'm gonna say we're gonna make it work.
Well, aren't you lucky? Yeah,
Well,
I feel bad for. I feel like I've jerked Johnny around because I've asked him. I'm like, oh, are you meet? Because he's meeting some of the. Yeah.
oh
Jerked
no,
around,
sorry, no,
there.
he said something in the chat. You're good.
Oh.
He has soft hands, Johnny. You'll enjoy it.
They're lotioned. Because I mentioned him about the Danny and Binks Funko I have, and like how I was going to meet them. And I was like, oh, I was asking about the price and stuff like that, and I basically had to abandon all that with the dental work I had done and all that.
Yeah.
So I'm in the hole too far to be sending anybody anything.
But my thing was with the licensing of the Chucky movies, like you can only get like Child's Play 2, apparently 3, or Bride of Chucky. So I was like, I don't want Fiona, I don't want Catherine on a Child's Play 2 Funko Pop.
Yeah.
But I thought of a way to make it work.
That's good. Listen, I'm excited to see it when you get it.
Dude, that's one of the franchises that, like I said, I'm excited to sit back and watch them all again with Emily because I love this franchise. And I truly do believe, I know we've gotten off topic already a little bit, but I truly do believe that part 3 was a good installment. Like, I think they did a great job of aging the movie respectfully, bringing in a new actor to take over for Andy Barclay to replace Alex. Like, I think they did a great job with how they continued his story. Like, you have this beaten, broken kid who got everything taken away from him. He saw his aunt die in front of him. He saw when he got into a foster family, he saw them die in front of him, and just his life is awful. He got the short end of the stick all around. So military school is really the only thing the state can do with him at that point. I just feel like it was a really respectful move. And it's just interesting to hear when people say this is like the worst one in the franchise, because then when you start going down the path of Bride wasn't that bad. It was pretty bad, but it wasn't that bad.
It was,
Seed
there was entertaining parts.
Seed's like, we're going to start pushing it. And then again, the fact that the same writer is involved in all these just blows my mind. It's like, is he just bored with it at this point? Where he's like, yeah, fuck it.
Oh, you want me to write another one? I guess. All right.
So here's a question. I'm going to pose this for Johnny in the chat, and I'm going to pose this for Horror Cat Dad if you're still here, and for you, Chuck. If you saw the remake with Mark Hamill, did you enjoy it? Do you think they could have done that movie without making it a Child's Play movie?
Yes. It was a horrible fucking movie. The Child's Play remake was just plain bad. That's all. I mean, it was cool to be like, oh shit, Mark Hamill, he's gonna be the voice of Chucky. No, he's the voice of Buddy. They could have called that like iBuddy or Buddy or something like that, and it'd be like a fine movie. Not great, but fine.
I don't think it was. Sorry, go ahead.
It does no. It has no regard or respect for anything with that's Child's Play related, and to call it Child's Play feels like that studio had that name and wanted to keep it. So just like multiple horror movies through the 90s, to keep that franchise name, they would take scripts and throw the name on it. And just put like that character somewhere in that script when it has nothing to do with it. Like, I think 4 of the Hellraiser movies started going back to Hellraiser. To keep that franchise name underneath their licensing, they took scripts that were written that had nothing to do with Pinhead, Hellraiser, nothing, and just said Hellraiser something, and was like, we'll put Pinhead in there like once or twice, and fuck it, we keep the licensing.
Right.
But yeah. Matter of fact, I don't know if she put it in here because she didn't. Yeah, she says she didn't like the cringy remake. But if she officially met me when we went as a group and saw that movie.
Oh, that's cute. I would say like I don't want to say this, but I'm going to. I would say I enjoyed the remake more than I enjoyed Cult or Curse. I went into
That's
it
a
with
bold statement. You need to go back and rewatch him.
I went into it thinking I was gonna hate it, and maybe it's just my love for Chucky in general and Aubrey Plaza, but I really this new movie Imaginary. Have you seen previews for that?
Yeah.
I feel like they could have made this new Child's Play movie more of that Imaginary movie, ripped the Child's Play name off of it, and made it work. I don't think it had to be a red-haired buddy doll that looked like Chucky. It could have been its brand new thing that we would have watched and been like, this is a ripoff of Child's Play, but enjoyed it more because we weren't so stuck on it being Child's Play. I'm not drunk yet, Johnny.
Yeah, when you slap that, so I'm moving around a lot. This shirt is sticking to me. It's warm in this room. I'm fat.
Lucky shirt right there.
Oh yeah. But they're putting out an expectation so bad whenever they put that name on it. Like if I had a mass killer going around, people might think that wasn't a bad movie. But if I'm like, oh, this is a Halloween movie, people are like, dude, what the fuck are you thinking? Like when Halloween Ends puts that Corey kid in the mask, and you're like, okay, I'm going to burn this whole theater down.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is going on, but this isn't cool.
Dude. I didn't realize that, Johnny. That's funny. I would love to have a Chucky Funko Pop signed by Mark Hamill. That would be fucking hilarious. Yeah. If his signature wasn't so expensive, I would totally. If I had fuck you money, I would have a Child's Play Funko Pop signed by Mark Hamill. I would also have. Have you ever seen the GIF of? Is it Corey? Is that the guy's name in Halloween?
Mm-hmm.
Riding his motorcycle with Michael Myers.
Yeah, he's just got his head on him.
I want that as an 8x10 signed by him so fucking bad, dude.
Yeah, that came out like within the first couple of days of that movie hitting. That meme was just everywhere,
dude. That's a dream autograph right there. Like, I hope you signed
him
one,
and James Hugh Courtney.
Yes, dude. Yes, like that's one that I would have to get in person, so I can just be like slide across the table.
put it right here. It's you're stupid.
Gosh.
Well, speaking of prices and stuff, I know we're off topic. Watch Child's Play 3.
It was a good movie. 1991.
I saw people talking about the price of Brad Dourif, and everybody was like, I think it's like $60. I'm like, there's no way Brad is charging just $60 for his autograph.
Did you see the price for the photo ops?
No.
They're only like 85, I think it was, for both of them. The photo ops aren't like. I agree. I thought his autograph would be really expensive, but I think it's only gonna be about $60. Johnny, like, chime in because he does. Well, you've done this for me before too, actually, basing his price on the.
Yeah, usually I'm like, okay, the easiest way to do it is usually you up whatever they're charging for their photo op, you down it by 20, and that's usually about what they charge for an autograph. Just like Jason Patrick, me and Johnny were talking whenever I was first trying to figure out numbers when I first knew I was going. He says that sounds about right, and that's what I thought. Like Kiefer was 100, Jason was 60. Well, Jason took his price and said, you know what? Everybody else is charging more, so am I.
I don't blame
so he's charging $80 now.
Yeah.
And Kiefer, if you're not getting an 8x10 from Kiefer, you're paying $120.
That's wild, dude. That's so wild. But I agree. I truly thought Brad Dourif was going to charge a lot more for his autograph.
Yeah, that's amazing, though. That
but
gives
I'm
me
also
hope
curious
that if I get a chance to see him, I won't blow the bank on getting 2 autographs from him or something.
I'm also curious of just how much of a pain in the ass that line is going to be to get through.
Oh yeah, that's why I had plans of it, and I still have just not got motivated because I'm not a good editor, and I'd like to have like the bullet points on somewhere on the screen when I'm doing it. Is like a con, like tips and tricks for cons and stuff like that. I'm sure Johnny would probably be amazing at it because of how many he does. Just like, hey, carry cash. Don't ever take a card.
Yeah, dude.
Get cash
I
out.
hate
Because everybody's
I
taking
hate
cash.
when people and whatever. Just gonna say it. I hate when people are in the comments like, "Do they take card? Do they take card?
Yeah.
Don't fucking worry about it. Just take cash."
Yeah.
If
That's
they're
gonna make your
taking
experience so much
card,
faster.
if they're taking card, that's also hurting them because then it's like they have to report that income, so they're gonna have to pay taxes on it. Which is fuck the man. Like, just pay them in cash.
Yeah, and then always get if they offer a VIP experience. Like I get the RIP every year. We only not did it once, and I regretted it. And it helps you so much. I have people get aggressive. That's why I carry Big John with me all the time.
I don't blame
he's
you.
6'7". He's a monster.
He's
it helps that he's that buffer of like, because when we got in Tim Capiello's line, we went to the stiff and we said, "Hey, we're VIP. You know where you want us?" And they're like, "We're gonna put you right here." This guy marched up. He's like, "Hey guys, the line's back here." And we're, John's like, "No, we got these." And the stiff was like, "Yeah, they had." He's like, "Motherfucker, go!" And he just started and he just walked back to the line. I'm like, "Listen, the price we pay for these VIP tickets is way more than what you paid to get in that door. I understand, you've been standing here, you want your experience. We paid for our experience too. And listen, if you don't come up here and fuss at us, we're going to run through real quick. I'm not there to chit chat and do all this stuff. I do like to speak to the guest, get a little bit of interaction, and then I go. I'm not going to spend all my time talking to them. I'm not just going to step. We've had people that has like cut in front of us while we're getting stuff signed and just start talking to the guest.
Yeah,
because
I had that when I met,
or their stiff wasn't one of the people that were standing there. That should have been like, "Hey, if you want to talk to him, that's fine, but you have to get in line."
I had that when I met Peter Cullen, and I was really fucking bummed.
Yeah.
I was really
it ruins our experience.
Man. I'd waited in line for like an hour, and finally met Peter Cullen, and some dude just like comes up and starts talking to him like, "This is my moment, like, to talk to the voice of the Predator, sir."
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. Like, it sucked. I'm really nervous because I'm going to that Living Dead weekend, and I'm expecting 9 autographs, and I'm trying to cram them all into one day.
Yeah,
little nervous. But
Johnny,
I feel like it's gonna be fine.
You should be able to hit most of the artists and stuff fairly easy.
I think if I go for, and we talked about this already, but if I go for Tom Atkins first, knock him out of the way, and then go to the actors from it. There's 2, Fluffy and I'm drawing a blank on the guy's name now. Daryl Ferrucci, and then I think John Alpus, I think his name is, something like that. Get those right away, and then do the animators. I think I'll be fine.
Are you going to take your Jordy Funko to get signed by him?
No, I'm just going to stick with just that Creep Show VHD.
Laser, yeah.
Every consigner's over. So, hey, okay, I'm going to say this right now, Johnny. If something happens where you have to bail on someone's Fiona, I will completely understand if mine gets set aside. I don't want that. But I
was waiting for you to be like, I completely understand if you picked mine over somebody else's.
No, if something were to happen, and I'm a forgiving person, I would be like, I get it, and I would be worried that somebody else wouldn't. Tom Atkins, I'm really bummed. He was supposed to be at Cinema Wasteland, which is like 5 minutes up the road from me, and he canceled. So I was planning on getting him knocked out, and then everybody else at Living Dead weekend. But since he canceled, now I'm like, fuck. And then there's another guy who's there, Marty Sheaf. He's going to be at Ohio TerraCon. So if I don't get him, I can get him in August.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you, Johnny, I hope they keep them prices. And I'm really hoping they do a little bit of a Child's Play thing for, the expo I go to in August. I'm really hoping because
Brad's
Brad's getting up there in age and he's looking a little rougher these days. So
with
I'd like to meet him.
I don't.
I ain't.
That's a very funny timed question. I do not believe so.
No, I won't be.
It's funny because we were just talking about this before we got on live. Like we were just talking about all that.
I helped run a charity convention for the Women's Resource Center and stuff like that in my local area. And Chiller is the same exact weekend, so I already have prior engagements that I have promised myself to. So no, there will be none of that.
Yeah, and I don't believe I will be going either. I actually just canceled my PTO for it, so I will be not going, which is a bummer, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm sending you a couple things though. William Catt, Griffin Dune. Chuck, let me ask you this. I know we are so off topic.
We're just talking now.
11 by 17 American Werewolf in Paris, already signed by David Naughton. Like the classic image for it, right? You got Naughton and Griffin Dune on the front. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm.
If I have Griffin Dune sign it, would it be stupid or kind of funny to have him put like 2 slash marks on his face, like the werewolf scratches?
I think it would be. I don't think it'd be stupid. I think it'd be interesting because I don't think a lot of people would ask for it. So it's a piece that you would have a story to go with.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Just like my Tom Welling piece that I got from the Fog.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interaction.
I like that. Yeah.
That's an interaction I won't forget because he was like, just the way he sighed when I put that piece up there. He's like, "Do you see any Fog stuff on my table?"
That's so funny.
He's like, "I hate this fucking movie."
That's so. And well, when I
Super
met Peter
nice guy,
Cullen,
though.
he had absolutely nothing for Predator. I honestly never realized just how huge Transformers is.
Oh yeah.
I had no idea, and people were just like, "Oh my god, it's Optimus Prime!" Ah! And here's me with my like 2 Predator pieces, like it's the voice of the Predator, motherfuckers. Like I was so out of place, dude. I've never felt more out of place in my entire life. Tom Atkins' character's name in The Fog is Nick Castle. I fucking love that you asked that question. That's one of my favorite trivia pieces of all time. I think that's so rad.
Oh, we never did the Rotten Tomato. I know Johnny already put it.
Johnny threw it in the chat.
Put it in the chat.
This is the moment.
You
the moment.
My flair. The Rotten Tomato score for Child's Play 3, 1991. Tomato meter was 19%.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. The audience score was 39.
They were talking to the wrong audience. They needed me. They needed me to come in like, let's bump this up to 40.
Let's go ahead and just make it an even 80.
So wild to me, man.
Now, unbelievably, this came from Desiree. Most of the time, she doesn't have good ideas. But we were doing our like haul of like every year we come home from Mad Monster and Chesley, and when Chesley doesn't go, it's usually her and Desiree waiting on us to get home at Desiree and John's house, and we bring our stuff in. They're like, "Oh, we want to see what you guys got." So he was showing off his Toonie Terror stuff because he bought a pretty good amount of stuff this year. I didn't buy anything except for the autographs. He was talking about Toonie Terrors, and she was like, "You know what, Toonie Terror they should do," and I agreed fully. A behind the mask Leslie Vernon.
Hell yeah,
would be really fun.
Yeah, I need to watch that movie again, man. I really do. There is a figure of Leslie Vernon.
I've seen it around. Like I don't know if it's legit or it's one of those like made, like somebody made them.
It's the Last Toy Store. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the shop. Johnny, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's called the Last Toy Store. Yeah. They had like a claim sale recently, and they had that figure in there.
Yeah, I'd like to get me one of those, and I wouldn't mind the mask and the scythe, but
I don't know why, but whenever I picture that movie, I can only picture Walton Goggins as Leslie Vernon. I can't think of who the real actor is, but I can only picture Walton Goggins. So they need to remake it and put him in that movie because I think he'd be the perfect. Walton Goggins needs to do like a horror movie or a serial killer movie and be the bad guy. That dude.
Yeah, I want him to be the bad guy, but I want him to bring Baby Billy energy.
Oh my gosh! Yes, dude. Yes.
Chesley loves that show. Like I got her to watch the first season, and that's just.
One of my biggest regrets is not fighting when I got that private signing with Cavallero, who plays Keith. One of my biggest regrets is not fighting to have it be with Keith instead of Ozzy from the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I contacted Anthony and I was like, hey, can I get it? I need a Keith. He's like, well, this is what I got because Chester loved the show and I wanted to get her the Keith one. So.
Oh yeah. Well, before that, I don't want to even drop the name. Remember the mystery box that had him?
That company that
no longer with us because
they still owe people Funkos. I don't know.
Yeah. I was so stoked that like I set up this private signing with Tony Cavallero and Righteous Gemstones is just breaking out. Like I was so fucking stoked, and then I'm told, no, we're doing Ozzy, him as Ozzy in the dirt, and I was just like, that's stupid.
Yeah, we'll still say stuff like in the last season, or like near the last episode when they're all about to go on stage, where he's like, not my daddy,
dude. Did you know? Do you use Spotify?
Very rarely. Like I will use it every once in a while in my car, but it's not. I'm not a Spotifyer.
There will come a payday, hallelujah, what a payday. There will come a payday someday. There will
come a payday, hallelujah, what a payday. Dude, that's all you gotta say.
Yeah, I'd like to meet Walter Goggins. I mean, yeah.
He's the shit. The shit.
We both enjoy him. We both enjoy some
Child's Play 3.
Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah, dude. Timothy Olyphant's the shit. Like, Justified is one of the most underrated, underappreciated shows out there. It's such a good show.
Oh, yeah. And I told you, when you meet Matt, imagine Timothy. Because to me, he kind of looks like him a little bit.
I can see it, yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it.
All right, well, we're an hour and 1 minute in, and we haven't talked about Child's Play for the past 30. So,
hey man, you know what? I just want to, Johnny, I want to thank you for being in the chat and keeping this conversation rolling. Even though we didn't even focus on the movie the entire time, I feel like this was a great episode. I don't know. That feels so pretentious. It was a great conversation. So if anybody's watching the rerun of this, like, what the fuck are they talking about? Stop by when we're live next time, doofus. Join the conversation then, and we can keep it on track.
Josh shares it everywhere, man. You should know where to. He even pre-schedules this so you can save it. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I do. I didn't know I could do that. Now I do. It's amazing. Technology. Fucking Chucky.
Like, looking crazy.
Like, Alex Vincent, you can't hide anywhere nowadays, you silly little bitch. Like how you just looked up, like, what are you talking about? So I gotta lean in.
Look right here.
I cannot do this once a week. No way. I'm a busy man. I still need to schedule time with you.
No.
To talk about consignments, collecting, and all things in between. Keep an eye on our socials. We'll be announcing our next poll very soon, so you can get your word in on what you want us to watch next. I don't know if we have a theme in mind for it.
We don't. But when you're like, you're just like, watch out for our poll. And I was like, make sure you're here so you can get your hands on our poll.
You get your hands on it. I was like, that was the most genuine laugh I've ever heard. Like, that was adorable. I'm so happy.
I get tickled over some stupid stuff.
Dude,
like,
I hope your hands are so happy with our poll.
Yeah. Please
play with
make our poll,
flirt?
Become
make our poll expand.
Engorge our poll with your votes.
Fill our poll with your votes.
Put the poll in the hole.
Oh my god. I'm clicking the end stream button. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you all.
All right.
And we will be back very soon.